Hi guys, welcome back to Resilient Rammie. We're now on to lesson number 3. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed last week's lesson as well. So moving on to this week's lesson, we're going to be looking all about ourselves. So we're going to be looking at how we're the same, how we're different to other people. We're going to understand the term self-esteem, and then we're also going to be able to identify characteristics of people with good self-esteem, and also how we can build our own self-esteem up as well. All you will need for this lesson is some pencils, some colouring pencils, some paper, and also you may be able to use an iPad, a computer of some sort, if you do have access to those things. So moving on to the first activity, all we're going to do is a quick little recap of what we did last week. So last week we looked at positive thinking. So we looked at helpful thoughts and unhelpful thoughts. Okay, so all I want you guys now is to think about maybe an example of where you used helpful thinking since last lesson, and then share this with someone in your class or someone at home. Okay, and then can you think about what the initial unhelpful thought was, if it was an unhelpful one, and then also was it easy to turn it into a positive thought? So guys, moving on to activity number 2, we're going to be doing an activity called 4 Things About Myself. So this activity is a really fun one. It's going to include some drawing. So all you guys will need is a pencil, some colouring pencils, a piece of paper. But also if you have an iPad, you could use an iPad as well. So all I want you guys to do is to draw a picture of yourself, okay? So it can be as detailed as you want. If you use your colouring pencils to colour in your different colour hair or your different colour eyes, put some clothes on as well, you can do that. Okay, so just draw a picture of yourself. Once you've done that, we're going to be looking at 4 things about yourself. So around the outside, all I want you guys to do is to look at 1 strength or skill, 1 thing about your appearance, 1 hobby, and then 1 fun fact. Okay, so if we have a quick look at what I did earlier, so if we move on to the next slide, you will see what I made. So guys, this is what I made on my iPad earlier. So as you guys are probably thinking right now, what an amazing artist he is. So as you can see, I drew a picture of myself. So I've got my ginger hair, my ginger beard, my Derby County top on. Okay, and then around the outside, I looked at the 4 things about myself. So first of all, I looked at 1 strength or skill. So a lot of people tell me, and I also think it as well, that I'm quite funny. So I went with funny. For a hobby, I really enjoy cooking. So I do a lot of cooking at home. So I went with cooking. Appearance, as you guys can probably tell, as it's getting bigger each week, I've got a ginger beard. And then also my fun fact is that I've got a turtle called Janice. Okay, so if you guys could give this a go, that would be fantastic. And let's see what your art skills are like compared to mine. Super work, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that last activity and you have now drawn yourself and also written 4 things about yourself. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to compare our answers, looking at things that are the same, things that are different between ourselves and others. Okay, so now it's your job to share and compare your answers with other people. Okay, so if you have the same answer, you will put a tally. If you have a different answer, you're going to draw a star. Okay, so if you're at school, what you could do is go around with your classmates and see what hobby they've put. If they've put the same hobby as you, you would put a tally. If they've put a different hobby, you would do a star, and you can do that for all the different four things about yourself. Okay, if you're at home, a great way of doing this is to share what you've put down with your family members. Okay, so what I did, I went to my brother and I showed him my drawing that I did earlier, and I said, I've put cooking down for my hobby. Do you enjoy cooking? Is that one of your hobbies? And my brother said it wasn't, he doesn't really like cooking that much. Okay, so I put a star next to it. Another great way to do this as well is obviously we can't go outside at the moment, we can't go out the house. Okay, so what you could do is you could pick up a phone and you could call a family member or a friend, okay, and you can ask them what they've put down. Okay, so what I did earlier is I rang my nan and I said, so Nan, I'm doing some work and I, for my appearance, I've put down I've got a ginger beard. Okay, I was just wondering, have you got a big ginger beard as well? And my nan did say, no, she hasn't got a ginger beard. So I went back down to my sheet and I put a star. Okay, so hopefully you guys can ask as many people as you can. Okay, but just making sure we stick to the rules and staying inside and staying safe. Okay, looking forward to seeing what you've got down. Good work. Superb work, guys. So hopefully we've asked lots of different people and shared our answers and seen what the similarities and differences are between ourselves and other people. Okay, so the last little bit of this activity, okay, all I want you guys to do is to add up how many stars you have got and also how many tallies you have got as well. Okay, so what I want you to do as well is think about the following questions. Okay, so what does this tell you about yourself? So when you've seen how many stars you've got, how many tallies you have got, okay, so what does this tell you? Also, what does this tell you about other people? And also, should we value difference as well? Okay, so looking forward to seeing what you guys put down. So moving on to activity number 3. So during activity 2, hopefully you had lots of fun and also noticed how we have similarities with people, but also we are very different in lots of different ways. So we look different, we have different names, we like different things. We're good at certain things, whereas some people aren't as good as it. Okay, so we're all different in lots of different ways, and it's superb to be different. Okay, and it's really about embracing and seeing it as a positive that we're very different to other people. Okay, so now what we're going to look at is the word self-esteem. Okay, so all I want you guys to think about is, what does self-esteem mean to you? Okay, and can you create a definition for this word? Okay, so if you're in key stage 1 or you're finding it quite difficult, you're not too sure what the word means, okay, what you could do is you could ask a teacher or you could ask a family member at home and see what self-esteem means to them. Fantastic work, guys. Hopefully you've come up with a definition of self-esteem. Okay, so self-esteem, all self-esteem is feeling confident and positive about yourself and what you can do. Okay, so it's feeling good about yourself. Okay, so self-esteem, all about feeling proud of what you can do, seeing the good things about yourself, believing in yourself, feeling liked and accepted, but also accepting yourself even when you do make mistakes. Okay, so it's really important to try and improve our self-esteem all the time. Okay, so some great ways to practice and build up our self-esteem is to do the things we're good at. Okay, so it's to keep practicing the things we do well, use positive thinking, so what we looked at last week, to try your best. That's all we can do, is to do our best, and also spend time with people who we love. And one of the really important things about self-esteem, and what I found really helpful, is to be nice to other people. Okay, so just remember, we can build our own self-esteem, okay, but also we can build other people's self-esteem by being nice to them. Okay, so saying a compliment to someone can really build their self-esteem up, and it will also help us feel a lot better as well, and might improve our own self-esteem as well. Okay, so a little task for you guys, okay, is a little bit of homework. So is, can you say something nice to someone else? So if you're at home, can you compliment on the cooking, whoever's been cooking your meals, okay, compliment them and say how nice it is. Or if you're at school, you might say something really nice to your teachers as well. Superb work, guys. So now we are at the last little activity of the lesson. Okay, so we're going back to our draw and write. So what we've done for the last 2 lessons, we're going to get our piece of paper back out. Okay, again, can you add, using a different colour pencil again, can you add anything that you've learned today onto your draw and write? So that could be what self-esteem means, okay, or how important it is to be unique. Okay, so if you could add to that, that would be fantastic. Okay, so the end of the lesson, okay, so I'd just like to say thank you very much, but also most importantly, okay, just remember we're all different, okay, and it's fantastic that we're all different in lots and lots of different ways, okay. It'd be very, very boring if we were all the same, okay. So believe in yourself, all you guys, if you are watching, or any of your friends and family, you're all amazing people, okay, and just try and make sure you remember that at all times, okay. So thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you next week.